Please listen carefully.
Well, hello, universe, and welcome to the Optimist Daily Update. I'm Kristy Jansen.
And I'm Summers McKay.
And we are part of the team behind the Optimist Daily, making solutions the news. We bring you reader-funded solutions news every day in order to change the tenor of news media, social media, and the direction of your day to get us all focused on solutions.
7 days a week, we publish positive news stories written by award-winning journalists and delivered online to your inbox and through our social channels. And also, we are sharing these solutions in a commute-worthy, walk-worthy, home office-worthy, half-day at work, I don't want to be here either-worthy podcast. Today is Wednesday, the 24th of November, 2021. Hey, Kristy, happy hump day. How you doing today?
Happy hump day. So where would you rather be if you weren't here at our wonderful Optimist Daily Update podcast?
Well, I have to say that I love being with you and Amelia, but I would not like to be in front of my computer. So if I could be anywhere in the world, it would be perhaps with you and Amelia in my garden or having wine to celebrate the holiday week with you in Santa Barbara. I'm kind of over this desk. I'm over this seat and this view. And yeah, but being here, reading the Optimist Daily and feeling optimistic about all the good things in the world is a good practice, even when you just really are ready for that half day. So that's what I'm rooting for today. Actually, I kind of think everybody on the team is feeling this way. Mm-hmm. I know you and I were discussing, but it just seems like in every meeting we had this week, everyone was just ready to be done.
Yeah, I definitely am looking forward to. I'm just taking the extended weekend, like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, back on Monday. I know you're going to be off for the whole week, though, coming back.
Yeah, I am. I'm very, very excited.
So you get a little extra time. That's going to be really.
Yeah. Well, so lots to talk about today. Obviously, lots of good news today, but I have a funny story that I want to talk about. And this is about being a California expat and moving to Texas. Now, as many of you know, I'm a gardener. I love growing things. And part of my move from California to Texas included an unbelievable amount of plants that came with me, right? My garden had all these ficus trees that I had grown literally from 99-cent store ficus to, upwards of 10 to 11 feet tall trees that we somehow got to Texas. Well, it turns out that you have to bring in your tropical plants in the winter from your outside garden to your inside garden.
Well, you moved to Texas.
So I am very amused right now by the fact that I have created basically a forest inside my house because I do not have room for all of these trees in here. My husband is currently traveling, but will be back shortly, and I just can't wait to see his face when he walks in the house and sees the obscene amount of foliage that has now filled our living room, kitchen, and dining room. So, yeah. Things I didn't know when I moved to Texas.
Yeah. Well, it'll make the air purifiers have less work to do.
I think so. Yes. So, yes. And in other news about singing to plants and sentient beings that plants are, Kristy, do you have a story?
I do. So I just had to talk about this one. It's from today's headlines. I think I was talking a few weeks ago about a non-human sentience, and we were talking about ants. But this article, the headline reads, "Octopuses, crabs, and lobsters are now considered sentient beings in the UK." And this is a landmark achievement for animal welfare. But in the United Kingdom, a new law has just been passed, and octopuses, crabs, and lobsters are going to be considered sentient. Because, according to a review that was led by scientists at the London School of Economics, the Brits have concluded that there's strong evidence that these animals can feel pain, distress, and harm. So they're not just the senseless beings that we can just have no consideration whatsoever. But
So we
they
have
are
to have more humane practices
absolutely
in
yes.
choosing to eat them if you are an eater of such things,
And
and how they're farmed and treated, right?
yeah, exactly. And I'm not surprised about the octopuses. I mean, we've written about that wonderful documentary, My Octopus Teacher, which is on Netflix. And I just think octopuses are interesting, fascinating creatures who think differently than us, but they are certainly personalities, and there you can't just not see that if you get to know any of them or read about people who have gotten to know octopuses as individuals and as a species. But I'm a little more surprised about squid and crabs and lobsters, but I'm not absolutely surprised. What this means is that there has to be more consideration. They can't just be considered like rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll get some sort of protection. I'm not exactly sure what else it will mean, but it again, it might keep people from wanting to eat like a lobster, which basically, if you think about it, it gets boiled alive when you go to a restaurant and you put it in.
Yes,
You choose one from the tank. So it's just an interesting. So the specific recommendations in this report are to maybe improve the current animal welfare practices, including banning the declawing of crabs, the sale of live crabs and lobsters to untrained handlers, and other extreme slaughter methods like live boiling without at least first stunning them. I don't know. It maybe in 50 years from now, we're all going to be vegans and not able to stomach the idea of killing something to eat. But until we get there.
And this is like, okay, this continues to be just a topic that we go round and round with on the Optimist Daily, because at the end of the day, omnivorous consumption is not actually that bad. Or
No,
it's the practices that create sort of damaging ecological and reduction of biodiversity that make eating meat bad, right? So
I don't know if it's bad or good, or those are values that are very human generated,
yes.
culturally determined values.
Exactly.
So I'm interested in this as an anthropologist, and
Right.
it's just the expansion of who deserves consideration and who's considered, what kinds of creatures are considered sentient and not sentient.
Right.
What kinds of creatures are considered food. And so I find this curious. I find it fun. And that's why I wanted to talk about it.
I think it's interesting. I will freely admit that I still have not watched the documentary because my family, we eat a lot of octopus. And so I know that if I watch it, I will probably never eat it again. And so years later, right, this has been the documentary, and Amelia, I'm sure, is listening as we record this thinking, I can't believe Summer still hasn't watched the documentary, but I can no longer justify not watching it once I understand that they are sentient beings as declared by the UK.
As the UK. Well, speaking of eating...
Yeah, well, speaking of sentient beings, humans in the workforce, humans who work at places and should be given a day off. This headline reads, Target will no longer open its doors on Thanksgiving. Now, during the pandemic, retail giant Target made the choice to move up the start day of holiday sales in order to limit the number of shoppers in its store during the Thanksgiving and Christmas shopping rush. But it turned out this move has actually resulted in another positive outcome in addition to preventing the spread of COVID-19. Because they started Black Friday sales or early sales early, Target is actually giving every employee Thanksgiving Day off. This is improving the experience of employees, hopefully preventing Black Friday craziness from encroaching on the holiday. Target will not be open on Thanksgiving Day this year. There are a number of other big retailers who will also not be open on Thanksgiving, but Target has made a decision that they are done. Costco and Nordstrom have never actually opened on Thanksgiving, but Many retailers are sort of forced to remain open as they compete against online retailers. So it's tough, right? And especially in a very complicated retail market like we have right now with supply chain issues and concerns from, are we going to be able to meet the holiday demand and holiday need? I'm just excited that Target will not be open. I think there are a lot of stores that are also closing on Good Friday. I think like Trader Joe's is not going to be open, or not Good Friday, sorry, Black Friday, right?
Black Friday, which I consider it Good Friday because I like having the day off.
Exactly. I think it's a Good Friday. It is not a day to shop. It is not a day to be out and about. Instead, be with family or friends if you can. Go out, take a walk, smell some grass. I don't know, just smell your ficus trees inside your house.
I like this because it's a reminder that I think that the pandemic has made us all stop and think, why are we always go, go, go? Yeah, and it's a rebalancing of our work week a little bit by Target. I mean, the big retailers. And this is a retail store, so it's not like our company, which is shutting down for Thanksgiving and Friday after Thanksgiving, and we're going to take a few days off. Our whole staff is going to be kind of just released to enjoy their natural environments and their families and their friends. But it's sort of a dialing back of that go, go, go consumerist splurging mentality. And I think it's nice. Target's a big employer. So
it is. Well, and the Optimist Daily is likewise closed on Thanksgiving. So tomorrow, guys, we're not going to be on the pod. We're going to do kind of a quick little record preemptively, but there are good stories today and other stories you can read and discuss with your friends and family over the holiday weekend include, and this one I almost chose, coffee and tea consumption linked to lowered risk of dementia. Thank goodness. Make creativity a daily practice, even if you don't think you're creative. There is a device that saves people from opioid overdoses, and we've finally cracked the outer layer of HIV. What else, Kristy?
Well, community school model is gaining traction in Los Angeles Unified School District. How to get rid of stubborn Thanksgiving dinner stains.
Cranberry sauce, I'm coming for you.
Right. Jessica Watkins is the first Black woman on a long-term mission aboard the ISS. Yay, Jessica. Farmers partner with Nature Life to protect endangered cranes in Cambodia. That and more can be found on theoptimistdaily.com today. So go check it out. Thanks, everybody, for listening to the Optimist Daily Update. We promise to keep sharing positive solution-based stories with ideas on how you can participate in the changing world. To help ensure it is changed for the good, we're going to take a couple days off, but still, there's so many different resources available on the Optimist Daily. So even though we won't be putting new stories out over the holiday weekend, you can go and dig into all of our different categories and find other information that can give you what you need to know to help chart new paths for all of us.
Well, and if you are an Optimist Daily emissary, you can search all 17,000 of our solutions. Our Optimist Daily is always free to those who need it, supported by those who can, and emissaries have untethered access to everything we've ever written, which is quite a lot. Everyone, thank you so much for contributing to the Optimist Daily. If you are an emissary or contributing to our community by sharing and telling solution stories to your family and friends, have a great rest of your day. And we'll be back tomorrow, sort of. Really Monday with more solutions. Bye, everybody.